What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Winnipeg Jets and their upcoming offseason, which actually could be kind of interesting. It could go a lot of different ways. Going to go over some scenarios here in this video, but first we're going to be talking about the exit interviews and some little takeaways. This has happened, already last week. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but some of it is relevant to what I'm going to be talking about here. I'm going to start with Connor Hellebuyck, as he said he is playing some of the best hockey of his NHL career, but he also said in this interview that he realizes now that he can't have that mindset of being the guy, right? The only guy that can win them games. He needs help, and he's absolutely true. It's very evident that Winnipeg's defensive core is not good enough. It's Josh Morrissey, Dylan DeMello, and a lot of weakness. And, Dylan Sandberg, very good defenseman, did not have a very good series. Neil Pionk looked atrocious. Logan Stanley looked atrocious. The list goes on of guys. It's just not good enough back there. Jets need an upgrade on the defense core. I'll come back to that in just a little bit. Now, next up, we have Nikolai Ehlers. In his exit interview, when asked if, he had thought about his future in Winnipeg, as he is a free agent after next season, he basically said, yeah, absolutely no thought has been put into that. And you can read into that a lot of different ways. But just the way he said it, I'm like, damn, yeah. I think this is the end of Nick Ehlers. I think he's probably getting moved this offseason. I can't imagine the Jets starting the year with him and just letting him walk to free agency, next season. I don't really see that happening. I wonder if they look at moving Ehlers. Obviously that's something we'll talk about further in the offseason. We'll see how that storyline progresses. I just don't see a world where Nick Ehlers resigns here after his contract is up. I mean, you can totally say that the Jets are going to try to re-sign him, and I do believe that they're going to have some talks of extension before they explore a trade. However, I don't think he wants to be here strictly because of how he's been used. He's been underutilized his entire career, one of the most dominant 5-on-5 skaters in the NHL. And he plays less minutes most nights than Mason Appleton and Adam Lowry. Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? Next up, I'm going to be talking about Rick Bowness. Rick Bowness has a team option. The team can, opt to offer him one more season of being head coach. He had those 2 years full, and the third year is a team option. And, when asked, hey, Rick, what are you going to do? Are you going to retire? Or are you going to still coach next season? He said, you'll find out what I'm going to do. And he basically didn't say anything, but it was pretty telling. I think this is the end of Rick Bowness. I've talked about it in videos before. His wife had that health scare in the middle of the season. He had a minor surgery, I believe. I just think that alone would probably be enough to make Bones take a step back and enjoy his retirement with his family. But I just don't think that the Jets are going to offer him that extension. I just don't see a world where it happens. Congratulations to Bones for being nominated for, Coach of the Year. That's incredible. I just don't see Rick Bowness coming back. I would imagine there's an 80% chance that it's Scott Arniel that's going to be the head coach. I think the Jets are going to more than likely get rid of most of their assistant coaches. But Scott Arniel, I would imagine, probably the most likely candidate to be the head coach, as much as I'm not really a big fan of that. But is what it is. We'll see if that changes in the offseason. We'll see if the Jets go out, interview anybody else before making that decision. But, I would love a maybe younger head coach, more modern day head coach that can, maybe get the most out of guys like Kyle Connor, Gabe Vilardi, maybe some young guys that'll be on the team next year, more than likely like Brad Lambert, Nikita Chibrikov. I just wonder if maybe the Jets take it there after what happened to them in the Avalanche series. If maybe they realize, like, hey, we got to go a little bit more modern, but, I have my doubts about that. Now, lastly, I'm going to be talking about Kevin Cheveldayoff, because he went up there and he said, yep, tough year. He was actually pretty emotional. He really went out there and did his best to build up this team this year, and he did a very good job. He's got some UFAs to sign. He's got Dylan DeMello, Brendan Dillon, and then the two guys that he acquired this season as rentals, Sean Monahan and Tyler Toffoli. You can pretty much, kick Toffoli out of here. He's going to be making way too much money for the Jets to be paying him, and truthfully, I don't think that contract will be worth it down the line for him, as it's probably going to be around 4 to 5 years to $6.5 million. Not going to be a Winnipeg Jet next season. Sean Monahan, I could see being a Jet next year, 3-year deal kind of for maybe $4.5 to $5 million per season. I could see that. I think Dylan DeMello is probably the most likely UFA to be brought back. I don't see really many worlds where he won't be back. He all but said, like, hey, I'm here to stay. I've got a family. He's got a second child coming on the way, so congratulations to DeMello. I think he'll be back in a Winnipeg Jets uniform, and that's good news for the Jets. Brendan Dillon seemed frustrated that he didn't have a contract offer, but, neither did Dylan DeMello, so we'll see what happens with Brendan Dillon. Seems like he wants to be back, but I kind of have my doubts that he will be. I don't know. I just have a feeling that Brendan Dillon won't be back next season. I would be fine if he is, but not for the money he's making right now. So I'm just going to revisit, kind of what I was talking about earlier, since we're talking about these defensemen. Connor Hellebuyck saying that he can't do this alone. So it was kind of like a, hey, I need some help here. And he's absolutely right. The defense needs to be better. Josh Morrissey, Dylan DeMello are a great pairing, but after that, it was pretty spotty this season. Dylan played fine, he was very solid, but Neil Pionk absolutely boat anchored this team. And Nate Schmidt, a guy that's getting paid a ton of money, sat on the bench for a lot of the year. Did not play some of the best hockey ever. Already declining, Nate Schmidt was not good. Dylan Sandberg is a steady third pairing option right now. I could see him making a leap in the top 4. Him paired with Dylan DeMello is an incredible shutdown pairing, and I would love to see that pairing go forward here in Winnipeg, but that means you need to add more talent because Dylan DeMello can't play on every single pairing to help out every single, left-handed defenseman. The Jets need to make a move, and if the Jets are to make a move for a defenseman, Nick Ehlers is probably your biggest trade piece. So, do with that what you will, but the Jets need to do something on defense. They cannot bring back this group and expect to succeed after getting totally dominated by Colorado in that first round. I do wonder if the Jets look to buy out Nate Schmidt or Neil Pionk, as both of them only have 1 year left, or try to cap dump them. I wonder what will happen there. I don't imagine that Neil Pionk is going to be moved despite playing absolutely awful. I just don't get that sense. I get that sense that, he's going to be back next year. I really hope if he is, it's in a lesser role because the Jets cannot ice that guy. The amount of minutes that they did this season and expect to have success is just not going to happen. If you want my honest take, the Jets need to add a top 4 defenseman, if not 2. And don't be surprised if prospect Elias Salamonson is one of those guys from Sweden. He looks like he could be a beast in the NHL. Very, very good player over there in Sweden, and I'm very excited to see him. Right-hand shot, he's going to be a very good NHL player, whether that's next season or the season after. I think he's going to be a monster, so, we'll see what happens with him, but I think he could slip into the Jets' defensive core, maybe even the top 4 before too long here. But defense definitely should be number 1 on the Winnipeg Jets list this offseason, because at the end of the day, it's been a problem for a long time. Connor Hellebuyck needs some help. Does not matter how good of a goaltender you are. You cannot have defense in front of you like that and expect to win hockey games. Now, the Jets are going to be losing some UFAs. I do believe Laurent Brossoit is going to be walking. Colin Miller, I could see re-signing, maybe. I don't know, as a depth option. Probably not. He's probably gone. Tyler Toffoli is 100% gone. Don't imagine that he'll be back with the Jets next season. But those guys likely to walk. On the RFA front, you've got Ville Heinola. That should be an interesting one. I wonder if he is willing to re-sign in Winnipeg. I wonder if maybe he says, no, I need a change of scenery, which I could definitely see happening. Logan Stanley, another one of those guys that'll be interesting. RFA deal. He needs something. And Cole Perfetti, of course, will likely seek a bridge deal. I don't imagine that he's going to be signing long-term with how he was used this season. Maybe the Jets, put some more trust in him next season, as they should. Keep him in the top 6. And I think good things are coming for Cole Perfetti. I think he's going to get that bridge deal this offseason. I don't think he's going anywhere. But this video is based off of my takeaways from the exit interviews, just the kind of feel that I got from the players, and kind of what other people are kind of alluding to around the hockey world right now. We'll see what happens, but it could definitely be an interesting offseason. Maybe not as interesting as last season with Pierre-Luc Dubois and Blake Wheeler being bought out. But there definitely could be some fun stuff happening, and we'll see which direction the Jets go. But that's all I've got today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. What do you think is going to happen this offseason to the Winnipeg Jets? Who won the Drake and Kendrick beef? Let me know down below. I don't think it should be a surprise who won there. Kendrick all the way, man. Jesus Christ. Rest in peace, Drake. But yeah, that's all I got today. Go Jets go. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.